Hey, what's up, Hilo News family? This show is brought to you by Baptist Health's Pine App. Healthcare at your fingertips with the Pine App. Head to HiloNewsMiami.com right now to learn more about their app and all the new features created to improve your healthcare experience with Baptist Health. Thank you for tuning in. This is awesome. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Hilo News family? Welcome to another episode of Can We Talk? And today we are talking to candidate Rep. Woodson. It's all about election season, getting you the information that you need to know so you can make the right decision when you're at the polls. And today is no different. I'm so excited to have my guest on today. And without further ado, I'm going to bring her on to the show. Hey, say everybody has to say hello to Rep. Marie Woodson.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to the fan of Janey's who are looking this morning. I'm excited to be here with you as you are doing some fantastic work in South Florida. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, I appreciate it. And for you to take the time, especially I know this is busy time for you to crunch time, but for you to see the value in talking to independent Black-owned media, I really appreciate it. So that says a lot about you and the work that you do.
Thank you so much. And the same about you as well, because one thing that we are doing, we have to have time for each other. We know that social media and COVID has taken us away from the face-to-face contact, but guess what? There's nothing like it to make time for each other, especially our own Black media. Not saying that we don't cater to other media, but hey, this is it. This is the reality of things. So thank you so much for having me this morning.
I appreciate that. And I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm going to jump right into the interview and get to it. I want to know about your time as a representative. You got elected in 2020. Can you tell me some of the highlights from your time as representative and some of the things that your constituents may or may not know about the things that you did?
Thank you so much for this question. Before I even go in there, I have to tell you how I get into politics because I used to work for county government. I started in county government very young. I was about 21 going on 22. So I worked full time in county government while I went to school, to college, full time as well. And I was able to get my bachelor's, my master's while I worked for the county. And I started as a social worker aide and now move up the ladder where I was in charge of 5 major divisions, which is social services for Miami-Dade County for the entire county, domestic violence, senior services, Greater Miami Service Corp, and psychological services. So I had a career in county government. And after that, I decided what's a better way to continue my public service work. And as well, while I work, I was also the chairwoman of the Miami-Dade County Commission for Women. So I'm all about elevating, empowering family, but most importantly, women, because you know how we get the short end of the sticks. So I decided to run for office in 2020 after my career in Miami-Dade County. So while I have been in the legislature, while I'm a newbie, a freshman, as they call us in the state legislature, I have to tell you, the people elected me in District 101, which will be changing soon to District 105 because of redistricting that happened. And I have parts of Hollywood, Pembroke Pines, Miramar, Allendale, West Park, and Pembroke Park. The residents of this district has elected me to serve. And guess what? I went to Tallahassee and I work. You know how we are. You know how we are, women. We work. We take it very serious. And I don't take people's vote for granted. So I was able to go to Tallahassee and I was able to pass 5 bills on my first year. Wow. So my first term actually in Tallahassee, and was able to secure as well $2.2 million in the budget. A little bit of it got vetoed by the governor, but it's okay. I still went up there and did what I had to do and bring back to my residents, some of the services that I needed. So Tallahassee is not, um, we have 78 Republicans, 42 Democrats, but we try to do the best that we can by working with people and try to serve and do your best to serve your community.
Oh man, that is amazing. And knowing that we have a Republican-led government and the fact that you were still able to get things done lets me know the hard work that you're doing, because we see the headlines, we see how tough it is, but that just shows the dedication that you have to your constituents. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you. Yes, it's not easy, but guess what? I tell people, put politics aside when the work needs to be done for the people, because it's not about them, it's not about me, it's about the people that we are fighting for. And this is one thing that I take. When I'm on the floor, I'm on the floor. We can be debating, we can be fighting, but guess at the end of the day, I say, hey, put that aside and let's do what's right by the people of the beautiful state of Florida.
I totally agree, and I appreciate you for your hard work. You mentioned the areas that you represent. I want to know a little bit about your background. Where are you from? And what area do you represent? Did you go to high school down here in South Florida? Can you tell me a little bit about your background?
Great question. Actually, that's the first thing that I usually talked about. No, I was born in Haiti, actually, raised in Haiti and came here at the age of 21. While I was in Haiti, I don't know if you know anything about Haitian parents. They always want you to go to medical school, law school, or engineering school. So
Yep.
my dad wanted me to go to medical school. But tell you the truth, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know that he was forming a public servant and really not a doctor, because at a very young age, he used to make me teach those kids whose parents couldn't afford to send them to school during the summer. And then
Mm,
he used to give me $5. He said, you would spend $2, you would put $2 aside, and you would give $1 to those who did not have. So
mm.
all that, that was my public service work. And when after I went to take the MCAT to get to medical school, I did not make it because I did not have a family member working for the government, no matter how hard I studied.
Mm.
For you to get into that one medical school at the time, you would have to have a godfather, what like we call over here. So because my name did not show up on the list, so my dad decided to send me here. And when I came here, I was here like for a short time. I landed a little job in county government. I didn't even speak English then at the time well when I got the job. It was an act of God, actually. That's how I call it. And so I started in county government, started working, going to school at the same time, move up the ladder, and here I am today. So I'm grateful and thankful to these United States of America, to the state of Florida, and to my community as well, to for the fact that they had taken me in, and I was able to work, raise my family here, and continue to serve the people of Florida. This is why I take it so serious, because tell you the truth is, I wasn't slated to be a state representative. I was slated to go to medical school. And here I am serving the beautiful people of the state of Florida. And I'm grateful and thankful every day. And this is why I do not take it for granted. I work very hard. I treat people with the respect and dignity that they deserve. And I intend to continue to do that in the state legislature and my community as well.
That's amazing. And that's just a testament that service has been in your blood from the very beginning. Since you started and your dad instilled that into you. And I really love what you said about your journey from immigrating from Haiti and coming here and being super successful. Do you have any legislative work that you've done around immigration, or any service that you want to share about that and the importance of that, especially in the South Florida community?
And that's a very good question. Tell you the truth, yes. United States, you have immigrants from all over that make up the United States. Even us as a people, as a black people, we all originated from the motherland in Africa. They send some of us over here, some of us in Jamaica, some of us in Haiti, some of us everywhere. But when we look at ourselves, we are one. We can accomplish so much if we realize that we all are one. But when it comes to immigration, yes, I'm an immigrant myself. So I'm not the type to say, oh, we cannot take anymore. And yes, we cannot, it's hard to keep taking and taking and taking it. But the people that we have here, whether they from Haiti, whether they from Jamaica, wherever they from, we have to be there for our brothers and sisters. This is why I took on a bill for the DACA recipients, actually, where they are here, they are really working, going to school. However, they don't have a status. So I took on that bill, but of course, you know, Tallahassee. I don't have to tell you anymore when it comes to that. The vibe is not really good for immigrants. But guess what? I will continue to fight. TPS, we have TPS recipients. We have our brothers and sisters who are living here. Some of them are nurses, some of them are doctors. They work. You see, COVID, we had a shortage of nurses. You have a lot of immigrants from different countries who are serving. However, they don't have a status. They are in limbo. They don't know whether tomorrow immigration is going to knock on their doors. So, yes, I was the one who took on the immigration bill and the state legislature. Unfortunately, we didn't get it through. But guess what? I will continue to carry it. I will continue to do the best that I can in order for our immigrants not to be living with the fear that they're living with, because a lot of them are mothers, they have kids as well, and those kids have been born here. Just think, if something happened to the parents, what's going to happen to those kids? They're going to be separated from the parents. Who would want to be separated from your parents? So it's a major issue, and I hope we can continue to work on that in order to make life better for our brothers and sisters.
I appreciate that hard work and your dedication to that. I want to know about your campaign and some of the issues and some of the things that you have been talking to your constituents about, the things that you are going to continue to work on and want to work on in the future. Can you tell me some of the issues that you're campaigning on right now and things that people need to know why they need to, reelect you?
Thank you so much again for this question. There are a lot of issues that are very dear to my district. I have a very diverse district, as I mentioned, the different areas too. But guess what? We have been through so much, and COVID has raised so many more issues that were there, but we didn't see the extent of those issues. One thing that is very that I'm very passionate about, that I work on, is affordable housing. We know we're having a crisis in housing. And when it comes to the younger generation, as I told you, my youngest is 22, and I talk to a lot of young people. Guess what? We telling them go to college, go to college, go to college. Once they get out of college, they can't even afford an apartment right now. They
Yeah.
can't buy the first townhouse or the first small home that usually used to be the case. Guess what? This is not the United States of America. We have to be there for our younger generation, because they are the present, they are the future. And I love, making sure that they are at the table as well. We need more young people in office, but I'm fighting for affordable housing. I even have a bill that I introduced to address housing for the younger generation, whether you go to college or whether you went to a trade school. We need to make sure that you have a place to stay, because what happened when you end up living with your parents after college, what happened? You start having anxiety because this is not what you expected. Mental health start creeping in. Then you cannot hold a job. You become homeless. So if we don't address this housing crisis, we're gonna have a sick generation, and this is not what we stand for as the United States of America. So affordable housing is very critical for me. Education. We are teachers. I would not have been able to be talking to you here without a good teacher. Okay, our parents are the first teachers. Our teachers are the second parents. So we need to pay our teachers more. We're not paying our teachers what they deserve. And this is something that I'm very, very passionate about. We need to provide the children the resources that they need. We need to invest in parental involvement, because it's a whole puzzle. And if one piece is not working, our education system is not going to stand. So I'm fighting to make sure that our teachers get the pay that they deserve, the children get the resources that they need, and we also get the parents to be involved in the children's life. So I have so many issues that I'm working on that is very dear. Our veterans, they have put their life on the line for us. We need to take care of them. We need to take care of their families. I even introduced a bill to bridge the gap that you have in the nursing industry, while you have veterans who left the armed forces with medical experience. So why don't we put the two and two together and try to provide jobs to our veterans? while they can alleviate the shortage that we have in the healthcare industry. That's something that's important. Our seniors, I passed a bill to address some issues that we have with an additional homestead exemption for our seniors. Revamped the rules for them to apply for it just once. They don't have to apply every year because we forget. So it's a lot of issues that we have that are very important, that are very, our climate change is
Yeah.
very important, and a lot of us are not taking it as serious that we should. If I start talking about the things that I'm working on or the issues that we have, we'll never finish this morning. But I'm enjoying this conversation with you. You are good at what you do, and I appreciate you,
Oh,
bringing those issues to light so people would know about them.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate that cosign. And all of those issues are very important. And those are the things that I want my audience to know about the work that you do as a state representative. Because sometimes, especially the younger generation, we don't truly understand what the job is of some of our elected officials. So I've been asking people, what is it that you're doing? What are the issues so that people have a better understanding? I want to switch gears a little bit. And I want to ask you,
And
oh, I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry. If I may, one thing
Mhm.
that is killing our population, our nation, that I really want to reinforce is mental health. Even though I touch it a little bit when it
Yes.
comes to what can happen if we don't address the housing crisis. Mental health is something we cannot invest enough in mental health. I even have a bill at the high school level where I introduced with a colleague of mine, Dan Daly, we were the two prime co-prime on the bill, prime sponsor, which is we both carried that bill and we were able to get the bill passed when it comes to mental health. The ID cards that the kids carry, they wear to school every day. Our bills required of the state to provide a crisis number to be placed in the back of the ID card. Should the kids have an anxiety issue or a mental health issue, they can call that crisis number and help would be a mile away to
Oh,
show
wow.
you how passionate I am about the mental health issues. And we need to address it because if you don't have mental health, nothing else matters. Physical health, nothing else matters. So mental health is at the top of my list because this is something that is critical that we really need to do something about as a state, as a nation, as a community. So I just wanted to add that.
No, and that's very important. And I'm so glad that you touched on that because mental health, especially in our community, it's been getting better in recent years. But the stigma is still there for a lot of people. And so I'm glad that you're working actively to combat that. And it's interesting because even though I was switching gears, I was going to ask you a sort of a mental health question about yourself. I was going to ask you what's motivating you, what's keeping you energized on this campaign. Are you listening to any music or any podcasts or, what's on your playlist right now that's getting you and keep you energized through this campaign?
And you are so right about that because politics can be a very lonely world or a very hard world, actually, tell you the truth, to live in. Because when you look at the work that you do, sometimes some of my colleagues talking to them, they feel like it's not something that people really appreciate. But guess what? To me, it's very rewarding because it's all about public service. So whenever I get in my car, I know Whitney Houston, who is no longer living. But let me tell you something. This woman, her songs to me are so powerful, and I still listen to Whitney. I do
Yes.
listen to some other, artists as well, but she's the one sometimes that I put her CD on and I start listening to the song. Then I get rejuvenated again, invigorated again.
Oh, we
Uh,
love Queen Whitney. We love Queen Whitney.
and I do have, some other ones that I listen to, but really Whitney has been my idol, and she remains my idol. And it's a lot. I'm not going to show favoritism and say, okay, this one is the. But I love Whitney. I'm telling you, I love her to the moon and back.
Oh, I love Whitney too. She's the voice. And so I
Yeah.
can understand listening to her and that helping you and keep you motivated and energized. Excuse me. I want to know before I let you go, in your own words, why should the voters, the people that elected you, the new people, why should they vote for you again to reelect you for state representative?
Thank you so much, Jenny. And like I say, I hope people listen to you and look at your show as well, because I see myself as someone who is working for the people, who is delivering for the people, just like you're doing. If you did not care about the community, you wouldn't be in the field that you're in now, because this is so important in order to bring information to the people. In a few words, people need to re-elect me. I'm asking actually for their support to re-elect me to the seat, because I have proven that I can deliver, because I went as a freshman in Tallahassee and I was able to pass those 5 bills that I was able to pass, and also bring some money down, bring some resources down to the community. But not just that, I believe in every single person. If someone brings something to my attention, if I cannot help you, I would find someone to help you. Public service is in my DNA. I feel better when I'm able to serve someone. I feel better when I'm able to move the needle. Whether you move it far or not, at least you're moving it. You're making a difference in your community. And we have too much at stake right now. And I'm someone who can stand up even when it's hard, when it's not easy. I can stand alone on my own foot if I have to. I need people up there, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to fighting for the people of my district, fighting for the people of the state of Florida, I can do that. And I do that with class and dignity. So this is why I think, this is why I know that the people can reelect me, and I know they will support me and get me reelected to continue to serve in the beautiful state of Florida, because we have a lot more work to do for the district and for the state as well. Thank you.
Love that. You know what? I'm just going to say it here, breaking news. High Low News is endorsing Rep. Marie Woodson. We need you guys to go out there to vote for her, get her reelected. She's out there doing the work. I want to say it here first, and they deserve your vote. So I want to say it here. We are endorsing you, and we're going to be directing our audience to vote for you as well. So thank you for taking time to speak with us. I appreciate it. Like I said, for taking time to speak to independent media, Black-owned media. It means a lot and it says a lot. But also, too, I see you're doing a lot. And so people, early voting is going on right now through Sunday. Election day is August 23rd. You go out there to the polls and you choose Rep. Marie Woodson for your vote. Thank you so much. And also, too, before you go, let people know how they can connect with you or follow you or support you. How can they, connect with you, Rep. Woodson?
Yes, thank you so much, Jenny. And the one way to describe you, beauty and brains.
Oh,
That's the way to describe you. You
appreciate
are so amazing. Keep up the good work. And people can connect me. The easiest way to get all the information of Facebook, Instagram, and everything else, go to my page, www.mariewoodson.com. You would get all the information in there. And thank you so much for your time. I don't want to take too much of it. You have given me enough. I appreciate you, and keep up the good work. Keep up the good work.
Thank
You
you.
are beautiful inside out. Thank you.
So are you. Thank you so much. We stand a queen out there doing work in the community. So I appreciate you again for taking time to speak with us. This has been another great episode of High Low News. I thank you so much for breaking down all these issues. And I thank you for spending time with us today, Rep. Woodson.
Thank you. And I'm up to the polls now. You know, we there from the opening until the closing at 7 p.m. So thank you. I appreciate you. Have a great day, okay?
Same to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, High Low News family? This show is brought to you by Baptist Health's Pine App. Healthcare at your fingertips with the Pine App. Head to highlowNewsMiami.com right now to learn more about their app and all the new features created to improve your healthcare experience with Baptist Health. Thank you for tuning in.